Hello, welcome to the video. I'm Pete, you're my valued viewers, and this is the weekly update. It's Tuesday, not Monday, because Monday was a bank holiday. I had plenty of chance to make a video, but I wanted to complete the weekend's sales. I didn't have any purchases on the Monday, it rained out, but on Sunday I did have some purchases. So if you're a returning viewer, which majority of you will be, I'm sure, you know what's going on here. It's just a recap of last week's sales, what's going out the door today, and some pickups from the weekend. So here we go. Last week's sales, rubbish, absolute trash. I put plenty of new stuff on, £40 plus items, not a sniff. No visibility on eBay at all at 2% promotion on everything. I think they're getting a bit greedy. They have changed the protocols and they do want people to do these click-through payments. Well, it makes no sense on single item items. If you've got multiple item sales, or you've got multiple items on the same multi-listing, then it could possibly, make sense of having click-throughs, but otherwise it's just rubbish, and it's screwing with the algorithm a lot. So, not huge sales. A lot of what went last week I showed you last weekend, as is going out the door on Monday. So I'll just do a quick recap because you will have seen them before if you've already watched last week's video. If you haven't, doesn't matter, I'm still going to put pictures up. So I'm going to step back and I'm going to do both sides. I'm going to do them quickly because, quite honestly, you've seen them before if you have. £24 for an XD card, £18 for a phone system. It was only a single phone. £20 for the G-Tech AirRam dustbin pan lid and filter set. £5 for a video game. It was Power Rangers. £4 for a tape cassette album, REM Monster. £27 nearly for a lot of 28 ties, all brand new Marks & Spencer silk ties. And then we go on to things that you haven't seen before. Shrine, DVD, Blu-ray, £4 delivered. It was £4.03 delivered. That was an offer. 2GB card, £4.79. That was an SD card for doing Wii homebrew, really. One of the standard, straightforward old SD cards. No HC, no XC, no high speed, just the standard one. The high speed ones don't really work on the Wii. A power supply from a phone system I got for £1 at Clearance Sky a few weeks ago when I did the footage of the video of the Hull car boot. Bose sound dock, £43 delivered. That was nice. I did test it with my phone and the Bluetooth adapter, and that was working great. So yeah, I could put that in the advert, but I didn't supply a Bluetooth adapter on this particular one. Another video game for a £5. Pippa Funnell, Take the Reins. I think it's Funnell, double L at the end. Another Blu-ray, Candyman. This time I got a little bit more. £7.20 delivered. So £5 plus £2.20. And then we come to what's going out today. I'll show you pictures, but then I'll obviously hold them up as well. So, Toshiba SD 1020 DVD player and remote. And you've seen the picture. There's the box. So it's 1142 grams, under 2 kilos, £14.20. That's £10 for the DVD player. I'm getting to the point where I'm not sure whether I can be arsed with DVD players anymore. Blu-rays, that's a different matter. People are still willing to pay for them, but £10. I think that would have cost me maybe 2, maybe 3. There's not a lot of margin in it. Not once you've packed it in bubble wrap, put it in a box and all that. This is better. Not much, but better. Boulder Dash, £12.99. Plus postage, so £17.20. £17.19. So they're going out the door today. So that's the end of last week's sales, £210. Now that's a good day's sales. It shouldn't be a week's sales. And I was concentrating on the more expensive items. This week I've decided to, or rather this month, because it'll take me more than a week to get going with this, concentrate on the smaller items again, 15 to 25 to 30 pounds rather than the 45, 50 pounds, 60 pound. Those are great, but the sales are slower, and I didn't make any of those this week. So yeah, so that's 2 weeks without any huge sales. So yeah, I know it's a bank holiday, I know, but it's the end of the month. People have been paid, or rather it was the end of the month last weekend. People had been paid, but they weren't going to do anything. Now of course we've got another bank holiday on Friday. Nothing against the king and all that, but it means that people aren't going to be buying things. They're just going to be sitting watching the TV, having like street parties and stuff like that. I don't know. So what's going on today? DVD player, Boulder Dash, I've already seen those. They're going out today. What else? Xbox One, I got this on Easter weekend. Xbox One power supply, I picked this up for, I think it was £1, it might have been £2. Might have been £2. So that's £19.95 delivered. So that's not bad. There's a picture of what it looks like. I mean, you know, it's a power supply. But it is for an Xbox One. Some vintage Playmobil this is. There you go. There's a picture of them all stood up. That was on auction because I wasn't being able to get rid of it. This week I put about 12 things on auction, finishing Sunday night. This is the only one that's sold. So the rest I'm going to add it into my car boot stock, and I'll probably do a car boot. I was going to think about doing one this week, but I think I'll probably do one next week, maybe next Sunday. I bought plenty this weekend, so it will take me at least all week to list it. Plus of course I've got a backlog like nobody's business, so I really don't need to be buying right now. I really don't need to be buying. And I've got other things to do, like sorting out that back bedroom. I'm starting to, like, I've cleared it out. It's ready to redecorate in a little bit, like sort of paint some of the walls so that I can use them for photography, a white background maybe, and maybe have something like a roller that I can bring down some other backgrounds. I'm not sure yet, and possibly put in some. You saw those lighting panels I was using, or rather, I'm using these sort of tent-like CFL lights at the moment, and I've got some lighting panels I want to put on the swing arm to use in that bedroom, so that it'll take up much less space, a lot less floor space. All that's got to be worked out and prepared before I put the photography bay in. So that's something else to do this week, as well as extra smaller listings, lots of them, I think. Alright, oh, another thing, some forks. Now I bought these about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I'm not sure whether I pointed it out. It was a midweek purchase during at a charity shop. They had, it's Viners, international stainless steel. Viners used to be a Sheffield company, then they went international in the sort of 70s, 80s. I don't know the exact date on these, but these are a recognised pattern and sort of collected. Make sure people get the same one over and over. And yeah, I got the whole set for £6.50, and there was a few pieces missing. So for instance, instead of 6 forks, there was 4 this size, and there was 4 of the smaller size, but there was 6 knives. So you can't really sell them in sets of like a place setting of knife forks, because that's not what people miss. They might miss 3 forks or 2 knives or whatever. Anyway, this is sold for £9. I'll show you a picture there. £9 plus £4.20 postage. So that's not bad. I could have probably got away with doing as a large letter, but I don't want to damage the ends of the forks, so they're going to go in bubble wrap, they'll go in a box, Yeah, that's nice. And that was £13.20. And last thing going out today is this camera that I got Easter weekend. This is the one that had all the memory cards that I sold over the last 2 weeks. It had 3 memory cards, and I got $18.95, $23.95 plus £1 postage, because they wanted it first class, £1 extra postage, and £29 for the 3 memory cards. And this is just sold for $21.50. Now, it was up for $23.95, but I sent offers out overnight. No, I sent offers out first thing this morning, and somebody who'd joined today, 0 feedback, 2nd of May, has bought this, which is okay. I'm fine with that as long as they got the name and address right. It seems to be they did. They've paid immediately, so they must have put a credit card in as well. I'm all right with that. £25.69 delivered. Well, the whole set cost me a £5, so for the 4 sales, it's a bit of a hassle. 4 sales, £92. I'll take that hassle all day long. Over the 4 sales. Now it comes with its box and all the bump and some cables, but no memory cards because I've sold them. And alright, I'm fine with that. They must have been fine with it, otherwise they wouldn't have bought it. That's pretty good. I'm pleased with that. Right, what I'm going to do now is clear this lot away, and I shall show you what I bought on Sunday. It's going to take me 20 minutes, it'll take you about a second and a half, maybe even less. I might put one of those SpongeBob 3 seconds later.
8 hours later.
Okay, so it's been as long as SpongeBob told you it was since the last video clip. It's probably been longer than SpongeBob told you. So the first car boot was North Cave, but before we go, I'll tell you all about it and what I got. But before we go with that, I'll just show you something here. This came this morning from, it's France Post, but it's from Germany. It's the battery I ordered for this camera I showed you last week that says £7 on it. The Olympus. And I'm very glad to say, if you pull that out, it's all working. There we go. That's me. And takes shots, winds them back. You've got to close it in order to open the memory. And there you can see I took a shot a few minutes ago of me and you, or at least the camera in the background. See that? So I didn't realise, but the blue one, this is the silver and blue, is fetching rather a lot more than the silver one. You see those prices? If I go like that, you might see the prices now, close up. I don't know, I might cut that bit out. Anyway, it says £57 on bids, £79, buy it now, and back in February, £124.99. Now obviously that's a replacement battery and it's got a memory card, so I might include the pouch for it. I might even look into getting a charging deck and then go for the £125 from 7. It's not bad at all. Well, it's not 7 now, it's 16 because I bought the battery. Actually, it was £9.60 in the end, the battery. So we'll call it 17. I'll look into a deck for charging the battery. You know, one of the where you just plug the battery in. Yeah, and then I'll go for like £100 plus. Can't be bad, can it? So that covers last Saturday's. The other charging cable for the other thing from Saturday hasn't come yet. So now we're into Sunday's car boot pickups at North Cave. Right, Lego. First thing I bought was some Lego for Guy. I saw the 3 boxes and I said to him, oh, how much is your Lego? And he's like £7 each. Anyway, they looked, the Lego boxes looked ripped open and all that, but in the bottom there was this, and it's sealed. It's just a bit bowed. They've not damaged it, but just pressed on one side and it's bent it there. But it's nicely sealed, never been opened. So this one's a 75082. We'll look it up now. It's an advanced TIE fighter. Lego 75082. And we'll go with buy it now. And we'll go with condition new. And then we'll go with sold. I've got a rough idea how much it's been going for. There you go. Rather a lot. And so I said to him, how much is it? And he said £7, the same as the others. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Next one. And then I said to him, well, these books, the other 2 were open, so can I have them for like £5 each? And he's like, he grumbled a bit, and then he said, oh yeah, alright, okay. So this one was, this is Lego Star Wars Echo Base from Hoth. I've had a look at it, because it was all loose inside. The building's okay. Han Solo on a Tauntaun is okay. He's even got a gun. Then there's 2 snowmen. Snowtroopers. But then there's all sorts of other little bits and pieces that are either half made or half missing. So for instance, this guy has got nothing to do with it. I've got a clone trooper, 2 more stormtroopers, the base of a gun, but not the gun. That's a pity. Yeah, so it's missing some bits. Oh, and I think this meant to be a droid of some format. Anyway, he's missing a head, I think, unless it's meant to be like that. And there's a couple of other little bits and pieces, nothing much. So it's definitely missing some bits. It's meant to have 2 of this guy, and they're meant to have snow goggles as well. And they're not there. There is only the one guy. You're meant to open it like that, and there's no second one there. And then you can take them off and you can put them on the barricade with their guns. But they're not there. So that's going to be, you know, affecting the price, I think. I don't think I'll buy all the bits. I could probably sell separate bits like this on its own for, look this one up, is about £15 I think. So I would make a profit selling all the little bits separately, but I would rather sell the whole thing, and it was going for like £35, £39 this one. So let me just get all the bits back in the box, because otherwise you lose them, don't you? I've done this myself and lost bits before. So I'll pick all the little bits up. Yeah, they were in like this sort of thing, which isn't the best. So that's got mostly everything there, but there's some important bits like the second guy, this guy, he's there because he's the same guy that goes on the top of this deck, this tower. These shootouts, this gun's missing, but these 2 guys are here. That gun's missing, that gun's missing, that gun's missing. That's complete. So what's that? That's 4 guns, 3 little ones, and the big one missing. But they might be in the other box, because this one's all mixed up as well. Star Wars Millennium Falcon MIDI size. This is nice. That one didn't have instructions, but it's pretty straightforward, not very big at all. This one, yeah, I'm going to need the instructions because it's quite complicated, as you can see. So yeah, I'm going to have a go with this, and I might find the bits in there. One thing I did find that's not meant to be in here, so there's obviously other bits that aren't meant to be in here, was this. Luke and this guy, Obi-Wan Kenobi, in his land speeder. He's missing a bit off the top. This kit's not complete either, obviously. This was thrown from this. This is meant to have R2-D2 and C-3PO and another like jet pod on the top. In fact, this jet pod's meant to be on the top, and another jet pod that doesn't match it is here in the actual, you know, pictures you see on eBay. But as a throw-in, can't go wrong. There's got to be $5's worth there. I mean, there's the two figures. Anyway, that's going in there. So could be looking at 150 quid's worth there, but probably most of it's going to go for the sealed one. But I'm very pleased for my £17 investment on those. Right, next was something that somebody offered me for £25 about 3 weeks ago. It's not the same one, it's the same model. This, anybody recognise it? Those handles give it away as like sort of 70s, maybe like late 60s. Anyway, it has this take-offable top. Is that the right phrase? Take-offable? No, it's detachable. There you go. And it's a record deck. Fidelity HF42. Really nice looking. I haven't tested it yet. It does plug in. There's a thing there and a plug. One thing I don't like about it is there's a big scar where they've put it down on something hot, or somebody's come along with the soldering iron and gone straight the grey across. It's not straight and it's not curved. It sort of wibbles about. So I reckon somebody's something hot on it, which is a wanton act of vandalism on something this age. But if it works, it works. And it only cost me, I think that was £5. £4.50. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on the plastic being damaged, and I sort of offered him 3, but he wasn't budging. So I said, look, you're going to have to give me some sort of discount because of this. And we came to £4.50, which was surprisingly fine. I felt pretty good about that, really. I'm not absolutely certain what that'll go for, but as I said, somebody offered me one for £25, and I'm thinking, if it's that sort of range, that'll be fine. Scrabble in a bag with its instructions. All plastic Scrabble, magnetic. Unfortunately, it wasn't like this. All these were in the bag and loose. Obviously, you sort it all out and you find out that 2 letters missing, A and T. And then you look in the instruction booklet and it says right inside the inside cover that A and T are missing. Yeah, right inside. So I could have just looked in the book. I'm not going to be buying them. I might sell the parts individually. I know it sounds stupid, but I looked up the parts, and the parts will cost me, this cost me £1. The parts are like £2.45 each for the letters. And I'm like, £2.45 each? Then I looked at the instruction, everybody selling these sold loads. So I might well just sell them as spares. It's probably cheap, it's probably more profitable to do that than to sell the whole thing together. I've done pink Scrabble letters and travel Scrabble letters before, till I got bored with them. I also did the keys off an Apple keyboard, one at a time, and that went nobody's business. I was selling the keys for something like £1.90 plus 75p or 85p, whatever it was, delivery. Nowadays it's £1.15 delivery. And I think I sold most of the keyboard before the sales ran out, basically, because they were the keys that nobody ever presses and damages. I got a big bag of Playmobil. That's what it says here. A lot more than the Playmobil I just sold for £2.99, and it's good stuff. A load of figures. I mean, I've got a box full of figures there, just out of frame, stood against the door in the garage, that I bought a fortnight, 3 weeks ago, for £8. I think there's like 30 odd figures, maybe 40, I don't know. Anyway, there's at least 20 in there with all the plastic bits that go with it, and some trees and all sorts of things. So I paid a £5 for that. This was at a charity stall, so that wasn't the first thing I bought there. The first thing I bought at the charity stall was this. I thought it might be a lightsaber, because it was just like that, and no, it's not a lightsaber. It's, if you do that, you can do it again. It's rather long. Actually stands at about, I don't know, what's that? 4.5 foot, something like that. And it's got a screw thread both ends. It's a monopod. You can take that end off, and there's another screw thread there, so you can screw it into things. Or you can screw your camera on that end if you want. Or you can screw your camera on this end. And it fits in between, and you just how could I describe it? You twist it to clamp it. So it's infinitely variable in length, obviously up to the maximum. Not bad at all for £1. These are like, I don't know, 15 quid. Nothing special. But I might keep it, because I've never had a monopod. I've got tripods. And it only cost £1. Right, next, Sonos Bridge. I'm not really sure what this is. It's like a Wi-Fi for your sound, I think. I'm not exactly certain. It's got Ethernet switch holes, but Sonos is specifically for hi-fi, I think. Anyway, that's what it is. It's basically a Wi-Fi repeater, I think, as a bridge. I'm not certain of that, but it could be the one specifically for hi-fi. Anyway, it sells, and it cost me £1 as well. That wasn't on the charity shop though. This was 10 video games, 50p each. You know, normally if I'd bought 10, I'd have like tried to knock it down, but quite honestly, it's a charity, fair enough. Some of the boxes are damaged, no big deal, it's a charity, fair enough. And this one, I didn't realise until the end of it, Time Splitters, which is quite a popular game, and I looked inside and it's got a real nice disc, real nice condition, real nice book, but the cover is some sort of faded, printed on a printer copy on normal paper, not even on photographic paper, so it's really rough looking from the inside, where the ink's bled through, but never mind that. So I'll probably have to sell that as disc only. No big deal really, considering the price. There's quite a few good quality games here. Risen 2, that's got a broken case, but you know, they're literally 10 a penny, the cases. Well, maybe 10 a pound. Syndicate, Quake Wars. I don't know whether there's any value to it, but I've never played it. I never even looked at it before, so I might have a look at that. Then we've got some PlayStation 2, Over the Hedge, 007 Agent Under Fire, Oni, Rockstar. That's to go in my Rockstar collection. I'm trying to get all the Rockstar games. I've got the tennis one, table tennis. Rockstar Table Tennis for the Wii, Aggressive in Line, and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. So that'll cost me £5. I should get all my money back on the first one I sell. There's some good games in there that price wise. Then I bought this. Is this the last thing I bought at North Cave? Yeah, I think it is. Kronos CD Pure Kronos 2. Plays the CD, plays the radio, and you've got auxiliary in for your iPod, I suppose. However, it's got a power supply, all that business. Remote control. I've put a new battery in the remote control. The battery tray, it's a tray because it's a CR2025. Is it 2025 or 3025? 2025. We just kept bouncing out, so I've taped it in. So that's just a bit too worn, but it's fine as it is. It works now with a new battery. And it changes the volume. You can change from CD to auxiliary to radio, all on the remote. The only thing is, this button here, it's twist to change the volume. Or, for instance, if you choose the menu, it comes up with the menu and you twist it to change what you've chosen to do on the menu, except that the twist isn't working. So I pulled it off, and the twisty thing, what do they call it? It's like, it looks like a potentiometer, but it's a push in, you can click it in as well. Basically, you make your choice and you press it in. Well, it's just not turning. It's turning, but it's not making the choices. So this switch here is buggered up. The remote, you can choose all the different functions with the remote, but it is faulty. Now I could probably open it up and have a look, but it cost £4. It's DAB, it's DAB, it's got CD, it's got functional radio, FM and DAB, and auxiliary input. I might just sell it as is and say to them, look, it's not perfect, but it's cheap. You can change everything with the remote. You know, you can change your channel, you can change the volume. You can't turn it up and down with that little twisty thing. I mean, you know, you should be able to change the volume, surely. Right, we'll do Hull in a minute. I've got to reset everything. But, as I say, it's been a while since I packed my stuff that was in here this morning. Yeah, it's afternoon now. Well, it's early evening actually. I've had other things to do. But I did buy some other stuff today at the charity shop after I dropped off the post. Rummy Cup. Box was okay, good condition, fairly modern version, taped up all the way around. Well, you know, four tape holes, so it would have been a matter of taking it all apart to see whether everything was there. I could have done it, but the price, I looked them up, I scanned it. They're going for between £12 and £15, new and sealed. Or maybe from a retailer, from a toy retailer, a retailer who sells everything retail and sealed and posted to you, £23 on eBay. From somebody who got one for Christmas and has never opened it, new and sealed, delivered to you, £15 on eBay. And they're after £15 for a second hand. Because, I mean, it's out of its cellophane. Even if the insides are all sealed up, which it's a bag with tiles in. Even if they're all there and it's all sealed up, it's not worth 15 quid without the cellophane on. So I looked around the rest of the shop and I bought some things they didn't realise had any value, or rather they thought they were nice but they didn't realise they had proper value. First thing I saw, well, I saw actually a sort of Cindy light looking doll, and I started looking at it and it was, what do they call it, the Barbie but it's fatter. because Barbies are always really slim. And I decided against that. But I did see this. This is Monster High, and it's the expensive one. It's the only way I can describe it. I can't remember the name now. I've got it on my phone. Let's see, I've done some searches recently. Oh, they're all on image searches, so I can't tell which one is which. Anyway, with a stand and accessories, she's going for like £80 to £100. Without them, maybe 30, maybe 40, I don't know. Might have to brush her hair and make her look nice. The dress alone's like 15 quid. Anyway, that was £2.50. £2.50. And like I said, they don't catch everything, so it's still possible to earn some decent stuff by going in a car boot. I mean, going to a charity shop. Next was this. There you go. Little brass jug. £1.45. I do like a bit of brass, and I don't think this is going to fetch a fortune or anything, but it's nice. Not very big. What's that? 8 or 9 inches. And the last thing was this guy, and actually she threw in this little copy of him, because I saw this on a shelf, and it was a shelf behind the till, because they put the really expensive stuff on a shelf behind the till, so that you've got to ask about it. And I said, how much is that, like, wooden mask thing? It's a wall mask. It's obviously a wall mask. And she showed me the price. It was like stuck on the back, but it said, let's put it the right way up, £2.50. And then there's a little one as well she got off the shelf, 75p. And I'm like looking at the little one, and it's nice enough, but it's little in it. It's not a statement piece like this. So I said, I think I'll leave this, but I'll have this. Anyway, one of the manageress came over and she said, oh, you're a good customer, you can have that for free. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't think there's any value in that. But if you look this up, it is Sri Lankan, or it's either Sri Lanka or Goan or something. And it's a particular mask of a particular god.
A few moments later.
So yeah, I found out his name. It's Mayura Raksha. And he's either Balinese or Sri Lankan, or both. I don't know exactly. Anyway, they're going from anywhere from £58 to £139. I don't think it's as good quality as the £139 one I can see. So I think 40 odd seemed reasonable. This wooden arm, this wooden sort of fan bit is a bit loose, so that needs some remedial work. But when I look at it, it looks like it's just been pushed in with some wood glue. So maybe a little bit of wood glue against the back end of this to hold it. I don't think it needs anywhere else, just a little bit there to hold it steady. Yeah, and then I'll throw that one in with the sale. So I could be over £40 with those two. That'd be nice. So with the Monster High doll, I'm looking at £35 to £40, I reckon. That'd be okay. So between them, probably 90 for the two items there, and this brass thing probably, I don't know, £5 or so. Nothing special really. It's quite nice though. It's only cost me £1.45. Right, I'm going to clear this lot. Oh, I missed some bits. Missed some bits from the first car boot. I'm going to show you now. These were at the charity stall that I got the games from. 3 remote controls, Pioneer, AXD7708. It's audio, USB, CD, iPod, tuner, audio in, clock timer. So it's for hi-fi. A U-View. These are quite expensive if you want to look one of these up. It's the one with the blue button. It's basically the same as the Freeview, but U-View. Humax, basically. Same as the FreeSat and the Freeview. It's basically the same remote over and over. And then a Panasonic DVD TV remote as well. These are quite expensive actually. They do ones just like this for about £11 that are a make, you know what I mean, a remake, non-branded. But this is the genuine Panasonic, and they go for an extra £5 because they're genuine. So they were £1 each. Normally for remotes I wouldn't pay that much. It was a charity shop. But quite honestly, they're all worth well over that. And then there's this one as well, which isn't a remote but came out the same box for £1. Casio calculator. And you might say, yeah, Casio calculator, you buy them for £1, you sell them for like £8, don't you? Over and over and over. But not this one. It's the graphing version. Press it on. It does graphs, tables, links, equations, programmable, all sorts of stuff anyway. And these are going in the region of 50 quid, I think. Again, I can't remember that far back. It was 2 days ago. What's it called? Let's see. We'll do it live. Casio FX9700GE. Power graphic icon menu. I don't know whether that means anything. No, that's not the one. Let me get all rid of that icon menu business. There we go. Casio FX9700GE. £57 from the States. £86. Let's see what the solds are. Yeah, somebody done one for £10, somebody done one for £80, somebody done one for £25. That's all over the place, isn't it? And then there's 5 from eBay International. Refurbished £23 plus £19.99 delivery. But when you go into it, that doesn't include GSP or customs. So getting things in from the States is really quite difficult. I'll just put UK only. It is UK only. Those 3 are the only ones there is. Let's see whether there is any for sale at the moment in the UK only. And the answer is no, there aren't any. So I'm going to start high. There's one from Spain, which is Europe, which is going to be a lot easier on the customs. £57 plus £14. What's that? £71, isn't it? Yeah. So I think there's one for parts in the States, $23. Yeah, I think I'll go with 70 or 80 quid. See what happens. You never know. Not bad for £1. It's all working lovely. So 70 or 80 quid. Could be good. Yeah. Right, I'll clear this lot and I'll do the next lot.
11 minutes later.
Right, it hasn't been that long, so I'll have to put in a very short SpongeBob interlude there. Probably only 5 minutes or so. Right, Hull on Sunday. I'll whip through these because I really need to get some tea and relax. It's a real need. So, it's virtually in the order that I bought it, but I'm going to have to do a little bit ordered because of the way I stacked it on this table. So first one I'm going to show you is my FreeSat bush. Very similar to one I sold a couple of weeks ago. A little bit bigger. Doesn't have any hard drive. It's got vents on the top. The other one didn't have any vents. There you go. FreeSat. SCART. HDMI this one. So the last one didn't have that. It's got an HDMI cable, power supply, which is a plug lead, remote, instructions. The guy wasn't going to move from a £5, so I just got my money out. Still had to wait to pay him because everybody was trying to pay him or haggle with him. He had a lot of good stuff, but this was more my sort of gear, so I bought this off him. He had a lot of LED lighting solutions. Well, I've got quite a lot of that, and I said to him, did I mention earlier that I'm doing that bedroom and I'm changing the these sort of umbrella style CFL expensive to run lights. These CFL lights were cheap. I think it was £30 for the set with the tripods, but they were 138 watts each. That's 276 watts an hour, which is 10 pence an hour to run these days. Actually, it might be 12 pence an hour. I don't know what the actual unit rate is. It's 45, 48, something like that. Anyway, yeah. So, I've got some 16 watt LED panels, but they need arms. Now, what I thought I would do was hinge them to the wall so that I can swing them out, and they save space when they're not being used. You can swing them back into the wall. And to that end, I need something to clamp them to the end of a pole that'll swing out, or to clamp them on a pole rail that I can attach to the wall, and then I can move them back and forward and swing them out. Really technical that. So to that end, I found these at a well, it was a junk stall, but I think these are fishing accessories. I'm not sure. Anyway, the clamp on the end of poles. There's your pole. It's only a very small pole because it's clamped to both ends. Think of that sticking out the wall, right? Or that's the end of the tripod. And I've got 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And basically you unclamp them there. And I think, as I said to you, they're either fishing or lighting accessories. And you put your rod in there, or your lighting pole, and it clamps on as tight as you like, up to about that thick. So about an inch thick pole, and yeah, nice and tight. So I could use that on the pole that slides along, and then put a pole outwards to put my lights on, and then clamp the end of the lamp on one of these. So you'd have a pole between the two and a pole across the side. That's the sort of solution that would make it infinitely variable, back and forward, and then I can have it twist down to have these lights. I'll need to maybe put a bit of wood on the back of the lamps to hold them, and then clamp to that. And also for that solution, I've got something else that came from a different stall later on. First of all, some wiring clamps, so I can post them into the skating board. And this, because the back bedroom's only got one plug socket on each end of wall. There's one on the wall that's like against the bathroom, and then there's one against the outside wall of the house. One socket unswitched on each side. I mean, these days you'd expect at least 8 sockets in a room that size. So this is a nice solution. Each one of these is rated at 240 volts. That one's a bit broken. As you can see, there's no clamp to clamp it into the socket, but it's still solid electrically. but they do say 13 amps max for the whole lot together. Well, 13 amps is quite a lot, especially if you're doing two 16 watt lights, maybe a monitor and a computer all in one sort of row. This is perfect. So I can extend this wire a bit, clamp it onto the skating board with those things, and use this for, like, you know, lights, computer, monitor. And if I have the moulded plugs in, I can just put a pit to that and a socket for the monitor to sit into, those rubberized sockets, and it'll save me rewiring the bedroom, you know, by taking the floor up and putting extra wiring in, which I don't think I'm qualified to do anyway. I mean, I could do it, but I think it's even illegal these days to do it to your own house without having it either signed off by somebody or done by a proper electrician. But an extension socket is perfectly legal, and that's what that is. And clamping it onto the wall, I don't see a problem with that. Okay, so that's that one. That's me extensions, and me, oh yeah, 2 boxes of cable clips were £1. That was £1. And these 2 clamps were £3 for the 4. I mean, it's 2 and 2, so he was going to charge me £4, but he gave me a bit of discount. So that was useful, but not for sale. I'm not going to sell those, I'm going to keep them. Something else that I've been buying and haven't sold many of, but I bought a couple more recently, I mean today, yes, Sunday, was the next thing. I've got some more Frank Meadow Sutcliffe photos of Whitby. This one. I'm not really keen on the frames, but I might find some wooden frames that match the others. Or I might just sell them, you know. I put the others up, but I've still got them up for sale. But they might as well, like, be on the wall in the meantime. So this one's called A Free Education, and it's like, as you can see, it says, take on Fish Pier Whitby. Fisherman Robert Ledley gives an alfresco lesson to a bunch of children from his East Side community, of which they were all part. This was printed in 1987. But it was photographed. He was one of the first professional photographers. 1860 Oz. And the same one with this one. This one's called a Cornish boats or something. I could have looked it up, but it's called Cornish boats or something. These are Cornish dhows that were used up and down the coast, as they're called into Whitby. I mean, that's a long way from Cornwall. Anyway, that's what they were, and that's the title. And they were £3.50 for the 2, which not bad at all really. They're not fetching as much as they used to, but yeah, nice photos. Right, I've done the presets. I got this, which is really, really, well, you can see how dirty it is, you know, but it cost £1. It's Corning, another one of these microwave browners. I sold one recently that was in a box for, I don't know, 15, 17. Anyway, these are going for 13, 14, 15. They're a bit smaller. It's only 8 inches. Cost £1. Done the thing. It says Autoglim Life Shine. Where's that? Ah, there we are. Bottle of interior shine for cars. £1. It's not full. That's a bit of a pain. No, it's 50 pence because it wasn't full. That's why it was cheap. 50 pence because it's not full. Autoglim's a really good brand. I've sold Autoglim full ones for like £15, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to sell this on its own. I'd have to dip it to find out exactly how much is in, but it's about half full. I'm not sure what it'll sell for either. But, you know, polish is polish, and it's the best brand for cars anyway there is. It's for interior protectant, it says. So it's not really polish. And if you're eagle-eyed, and you might have noticed something's changed in the background. Did you notice this guy earlier on? He's got a friend now. No, this guy was there earlier on. He's got a no, this guy was earlier on. He's got a friend now. He's from, weeks ago. But he's the type with fixed legs. And when you push the back end, the arms flip out, but there's no lights. And he's speaks Spanish, which is great if you like that sort of thing. And I think you can switch him back into English, I'm not sure. This guy though, he's got everything going for him. He's got the bendy legs, he's got Bonnie underneath, so that makes him 3 or 4, isn't it? If he's got Bonnie underneath. And he's got, if you push this, he's got the light up wings. There you go. And that opens up. He speaks English. And he's got his laser arm. His other arm opens up to reveal his, I don't know, whatever that is. And you can turn him on and off because he's got a switch. So he's got everything going for him. And he cost me £3. I'm not sure what they're going for these days. But he's pretty good. Needs a good clean. And all the helmet needs cleaning. This guy's only got half his helmet. The Spanish Buzz. We'll call him the Spanish Buzz from now on. So that was £3. Yeah. I've missed one. No, I haven't. I've done the 6-way sockets. Oh yeah, this. Now, last week I told you about these, and I said to you, if you see one at the car boat, just buy it. I just said, if you see one at the car boat, however knackered it is, just buy it. Might be giving you away. Charger, battery, and the name. 55 volt air ram. Sorry, 22 volt. I'm reading it backwards. G-Tech air ram. There you go. G-Tech. And the really dusty, manky, dirty underneath, which I could spend hours and hours cleaning up, and then I might be able to sell it for 50 quid. You know what I'm going to say now though? I'm not going to bother. Because there's this with the filters in, and the dustpan, which I'll just pop out. That bit and that bit together, put them through the dishwasher, right? Maybe do the filters by hand. You just scrunch them like that in some soapy water, rinse them out so they stop getting dust out of them. 20 quid delivered. Then there's this. Again, if I can get it out. There's a catch. I just don't know how it's done. I can't remember. There's a battery there that pops out. 18, 19 quid. So right up to now we're on £39. Then we've got a charger. Now normally I would say another 15 quid for the charger, but didn't realise until I got it home. It's It's working fine, it's charging it up, I've tried it. It's got cuts in the wire there and there, and most importantly there. I personally don't think I could sell this as a safe electrical piece, because although the wires probably aren't touching, and I've tested it by plugging it into that, I shouldn't have done. I mean, alright, I'm holding this end and I'm holding this end, I'm not running my fingers up and down, but yeah, it's gone through the actual outside and it's gone into the rubber on the two electrical bits. I can't see any actual wire, is all I can say, but I wouldn't feel right about selling something with, you might not, if I focus it right there with next to my eyes, you might see that it's really quite nasty. So I don't think I can sell this. So it's a good job I knocked him down a bit. He wanted 15 quid. Anyway, I paid 10 in the end, which was all I was willing to pay. But that means I've got this for £5. So I can't really sell it as a going concern anyway, because it's not complete. I'll sell this for 20. I'll sell the battery for 19 or 20. I might even sell the handle, because the handle comes out of this one. The last one I had, it was the wrong way around. People have to have it the wrong way around because they think that that's the wrong shape. But of course when it's sort of angled down, that's exactly the right, it's on top. So I can take the handle out, might sell that. There you go. There's just a knack to it. 18 quid or 19 quid. And I know it works. I've had it, well, and turn it on. There's lights here that show it charging as well, when you're charging it. You can see it's full charge. But it is really worn and manky. Look at that. I could spend hours cleaning it and I'd make an extra £5. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'll just put that in the dishwasher and sell the battery and I'll make 40 quid. And then the rest goes to the tip again. I did take that other one to the tip earlier on the weekend, and while I was there I dropped off a fridge that I've been waiting to get rid of since my last kitchen remodel. It was an under counter fridge I was using while they were remodelling it, and I think I borrowed it off my brother, but he didn't want it back. It wasn't worth anything, it was all broken at the top and, you know, like missing a shelf. Not a big deal. Anyway, so I decided to take it to the tip where they can dispose of it safely, and while I was there I saw in the next box along, the electrical box, I did actually take something else that was electrical, the G-Tech Air RAM, and there was like an Xbox 360 just stood in the lip of this thing, and I'm like, what's that doing there? And I said to the guy, oh, do you get many people chucking those away? He says, you get them all the time, loads of them. So I said, oh right, oh I see. I said, oh, there's another one there, and he says, there's about half a dozen in there. And I'm like, oh shit, really? I don't suppose. And he's like, not really, no. Anyway, there was one of these on the top of it. Final Fantasy 13 hard drive. I said to him, oh, I'll refresh these and, you know, refurbish them and get them going again and sell them. Could I have that hard drive? He's like, take as many hard drives as you like, but you can't go like loading the car with them, make sure nobody sees them. So Another couple there. Another couple there. Another couple there. Another couple there. Well, it's got to be done, hasn't it? It's got to be done. So like, I dropped off the G-Tech and I like got like 4. And I'm like walking back to the car with them under my arm like this. And then I went, oh, what else can I take back over there? Nothing. I just walked over there and I had a chat with him, and then I like grabbed another 4 off these other ones. Yeah, they were all over the place in it. And it meant walking into the place and digging them about a bit, but he didn't really want me carrying armloads of actual machines. And you know, I've got loads of those machines anyway, and most of them I've got like red ring of death anyway. So that's probably what's happened to them. But these hard drives, there's a good chance the hard drives will work fine. And they might have loads of games on them for all I know. Most of them are 20 gig. 20 or 30 don't have marks. They don't say, like Final Fantasy 13, that's a specialist one. I don't know what's going to be in that. Most of them are just HDD like that. That one. That one says 60 GB HDD, so 60 gigabyte. That's another one that's 20. And this one's a 250. Yeah. So, could have a lot of games on that. Who knows? And I don't know what's in the Final Fantasy one. It could be a Final Fantasy game on it, or it could just be a bigger drive because it needed one. Who knows? They were free, so I was well pleased with that. I'll certainly be taking more electrical gear. When I take that carcass, I'll be having another dig about. The only thing is, he said, don't let people see you taking stuff out, because there's cameras everywhere, you know. But like little hard drives, who cares really? He certainly didn't. Oh, done a couple more things. I saw this on somebody's stall. And I said, how much is it? It's 50p. The date's right, but there was a big hole in the side of it. So I got it out of the bag, and it looks like it's been sealed up in the bag to make sure nobody else dug around in it. But it's got sealed bags inside. 1, 2, this one's HP 305 black, sorry 304, and this one's tricolour. So it's got exactly what it says on the box in it. It's just looks like somebody's fed it to their dog, you know. But it's a 24, July 2024. So that might be going for, I don't know, 15 quid easy. Maybe 13 in this state. The box is shit, the interior is fine. 7 Nintendo Wii accessories for a £5. One's a wheel. One's one of these classic controllers. The rest are nunchucks. I think the white ones are genuine. Not that one, that's a Mad Catz. One black one is genuine, the other black one is fake. Might work anyway. And there's another wireless classic one there from Daytel. Who knows? That was a £5. I was trying to get them for like 3 quid, but it wasn't budging. So I bought them anyway because I need a black controller. Sorry, nunchuck to go with the black controller I've got. Now that I've got a black controller and a black nunchuck, I can sell them as a set. I'll make a lot more money. That's always nice. A TV wall bracket. I've got a few of these over the years, and some of them, well, there's a couple in use, but this I thought might be nice in my new bedroom to have a spare bracket like that you can move away from the wall. It's a lot longer arm to hold, I don't know, either a smaller monitor, not the monitor I bought for me Apple. That is huge. I think it's that way up actually. I'm not sure whether it is that way because it would the whole weight of everything would be based onto this little bit of plastic. I would have thought it would be better off that way up, because that way it couldn't possibly fall out. But if it is that way up, then the nice finish on these is the wrong way up. So maybe this here is the wrong way up. You see what I mean? It could be that that's the wrong way up and it's actually meant to be facing down. And so is that. That would make sense with this, because then it would be vertical and it wouldn't possibly fall out the bottom. And that hook would be cable management then, instead of whatever it is now. You couldn't use that for holding it up. That would be cable management. Anyway, that cost £1 off the same guy with the ink. Pretty nice. And then I got 2 rolls of wallpaper for £1. This one has been a bit of used, and he said, oh no, you haven't used much at all, this has been just a little bit of sample. I'm like, okay. It's quite nice shiny wallpaper. The other one is fully sealed up, and it's called crystal glitter encrusted vinyl, whatever that means. It's not exactly a brand, but it's nice enough. Probably use this one for wrapping things, and this one for either for selling or putting on a wall or something. Haven't done any wallpapering in 20 odd years. Yeah. I've taped wallpaper together in order to use it as a backdrop. It's not the same, is it? Oh, and then the last thing, which was nice actually, was some jigsaws. Now I don't normally bother with jigsaws, but these are sealed. So, Grandad's Garden. It's Ravensburger though. It's not a very good design, is it? You know what I mean? It's a bit basic. And it's got soft click technology, whatever that is. 500 piece though. Musée de Louvre. 70 centimetres by 50 centimetres, 1,000 piece, I think. Yeah, 1,000 piece. Yeah, and the last one is A Perfect Day Out by Schmidt. FX Schmidt. 1,000 pieces, puzzle size, 70 by 50 centimetres. This scene by Leicestershire-based Andy Walker shows people gathering together to enjoy a great day out at a stately home. It doesn't say which stately home. Never mind. Quite nice. If you like that sort of thing. They cost me £4 for the 3. Sealed. So you can't go wrong, can you? Well, that's my lot. Both car boots, £82. And as I said to you before, I expect to get that for just the calculator that cost £1. Which would be really nice. I haven't got a total. Can I be bothered making one? I'll tell you what, I'll move over here like that. I'll put do some reseller maths there. Total figures, you know, the works. So we've got turnover, eBay fees, postage and packaging, other costs, purchase price, because that's like the last bit but one, and total profit margin after taking all those things off the turnover up there. I've got no idea what it's going to be, but you'll know as soon as I know, because it's the last bit of editing I do. Yeah, you'll probably see this before Friday, fingers crossed. The editing is not difficult, it's just long-winded. Yeah, and it takes a long time to compile together with my wind-up computer from the 90s. It's not actually. It's only 5 years old, but it feels like it's using a wind-up computer from the 90s, you know? Right, I waffled on for far too long. Watch one of these 2 videos. I'm not going to put a subscribe button on this. 2 videos, watch one of them. they're both brilliant. They're both as bad as this one. Yeah, watch one of these videos. YouTube thinks they're great, and yeah. Or just go in my back catalogue. You'll see loads of fun stuff, and yeah, enjoy. Bye.